Hello everyone and welcome back to the 25-day survival multiplayer series, the series where we take each episode 25 in-game days at a time. In the last episode we went and we built our Guardian farm, and now we've got an infinite source of XP, of Prismarine, of Sea Lanterns, but in this episode we need to go on the hunt for our base so that we can build our storage system in a lush cave, because there's no point playing the 118 Caves and Cliffs update without making the most of the new features. So strap in, grab yourselves a drink, really hope that you enjoy the episode. If you do, consider leaving a like, and if you really want to see more, why not hit that subscribe button. But for now, enjoy the episode. This is days 101 to 125. I could have quite easily spent the first day just watching these items in the item transportation system, but I didn't want to waste too much time mesmerised by this, so instead I went and checked stock of our AFK sessions, and oh my god, this is looking pretty good. We've got enough stuff to actually do some decent builds with, so that's definitely going in the win column. And do you know what else is going in the win column? The fact that we haven't been looking for ancient debris, and yet somehow we've got enough to get 3 netherite ingots. So I managed to upgrade my Fortune 3 pickaxe, Silk Touch pickaxe, and my boots. Then I went out exploring because it's time to find the lush cave that we're going to build our main base in. So I spent 6 days out in the wilderness. I managed to find a horse and tame it, and that really helped me to get about. I thought it was going to jump off the edge here, but fortunately it didn't, and I took that horse on the longest journey. Like I say, this took 6 full in-game days, and I travelled quite the distance. I went through meadows, I went through hills, I went through mountains, and for love nor money I could not find any actual lush caves. I found loads of caves, some wonderful caves, but I was specifically looking for a lush cave for us to build our base in. So I just kept looking. I came across this grave of the unknown soldier, and it said thanks for the boots. I'm not really sure what that's about, but I'm sure there's a story there somewhere. I came across even more caves, and I thought this one might be tempting to me, but I decided, do you know what, no, I'm not going to build here. I'm going to keep looking for it. And then I thought, no, maybe this is the one, maybe I can make something. Then I thought, no, keep looking for what you were looking for, don't give up on your dreams. So I didn't, and I just kept going through the night, and I just kept trotting and riding, nearly fell in a hole, and by day 108 I came across actually that place that I was initially going to start my starter base in, but ended up getting killed that time. This is where I had the epic battle with that villager. And I made it back to spawn. I hadn't found a lush cave, but I had found a horse, so now I had a horse for my nether tunnel, which was obviously a very good thing, but not quite what we were out for. So I went back into the nether, I headed home, and I made it all the way back to my nether tunnel. I asked everyone else if they knew of any locations of lush cave, and Rick said that he had one right underneath his base. So on day 109 I went down to explore that, and I found it, and it was beautiful. At first I thought it was just going to be the spaghetti, but then it turned out to be a huge cave, and I thought, yes, this is it. This is where we're going to build our base. I did a little bit of exploring, but not too much, and came across this abandoned mine shaft. I think Rick's already been through and lit it all up for me, which is amazing. So I got to work building the nether portal to hook this place up to the nether hub, and it didn't take very long at all, and it was nice and easy, nothing went wrong. I cobblestoned around it just to kind of give it a little bit of a nice effect, and then I thought, yes, we are in a good position. Look how close we are to Rick's portal actually. I dug some of this out a little bit, and we were so close that it just takes seconds to get to Rick's base. I knew we were going to end up with a lot of ore, so I ended up knocking out this area here to put a super smelter in place using blast furnaces, and this thing is so quick. It took me a little while to set it up, but I did get it set up pretty nice and easily. And as I was doing the setting up and making sure that all of my mine carts went into the right places, so on and so forth, we actually ended up having a little visit from Rick. To see his perspective, go and check out his channel, but I wanted to know if I could grow a spruce tree underground, and I couldn't. So on day 11 I went and I just lit up most of the cave down the bottom, and this took a little while, but it was well worth doing. You can see how many mobs are here, and you can see how many torches I end up spamming through, but it's now spawn proofed. And I tried down here to see if I could grow another spruce tree, because I really wanted an underground tree farm, but it wasn't having any of it. So I knew that I needed to get up to the surface, and I built this staircase going all the way from level 0 that I was on to level 78, and now I had access to a spruce forest, which was amazing because I needed wood for chests. And what do I need chests for? Well, for a sorting system. But first I needed to mine out the area that the sorting system was going to go, and I mined out all of this area, tried to place down some torches, but there was some immense block lag.
No.
I I hung these glowberries from the central column because I knew that they'd grow and light the place up, and I thought that'd be a cool effect for a cave. Then I used my abundance of prismarine to just give the cave a little bit of extra flair, and I put lighting in place every so often using the sea lanterns because I had an unlimited supply of those, and by day 115 I was ready to start planning out the redstone. But I needed more space, so it was back to mining and making the area that I had to work with a little bit bigger. I put the chests in place so that I had placeholders for where my walking areas were, and on day 116 I realised that actually I was right above the cavern, so I put some lights underneath it because I thought it'd look good. I was running low on netherrack of all things, so I thought I'd go back to my industrial area nether tunnel with my horse and just mine out some of the netherrack there so that I could build this up later. And the first block that I broke released the lava, and I thought, well, that's fine because the horse is there, but he's not going to walk into the lava, is he?
I can't believe you've done this.
After a very brief morning period, I got back to work clearing out the nether tunnel so that I could get my hands on that netherrack, and then I started slabbing off the nether tunnel, not with cobblestone, no, but with prismarine because I had an abundance of it. And this took a little while, all the way through day 117, but finally I could run down my nether tunnel on slabs, spawn-proofed. I missed these 4, but don't worry about that, look at me running, it's beautiful. I'd managed to dig out some blackstone as I was taking down the nether tunnel, so I donated it to Rick in his chests in the nether. I don't know what they're for, I think they're for the nether tunnel. And then I got back to base and started working on the redstone, and of course this slime got involved. This would be the first time but not the last time. There was always slimes, and I put all the repeaters in place, and the rest of day 118 just flew by because I was hard at work. I was digging areas out, I was putting netherrack in place so that I knew where the redstone needed to be, and it was just really about planning and putting everything in place that I needed. I managed to expand the walkways a little bit further by using some prismarine so that I was at less risk of falling off into the cavern. And while I'm busying away here, let me just ask you, are you enjoying the series? If you are, maybe leave a little like on this video. If you want to see more, why not subscribe? I feel like I've earned your subscription. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm right, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Oh look, more slimes getting in the way. That's fun. I got to work with the chests and just building these up a little bit. Oh, more slimes. They just never stop. They never stop. It was time to get to work on the rest of the redstone. I had 60 slots overall, some of them with double chests, some of them with triple chests. I went through a ton of hoppers because I needed them for the main hopper line, I needed them to go into the comparators, I needed them to feed into the chests, and this part is perhaps the most boring part, is putting all of the filler blocks in place once the redstone is hooked up. It just took forever. Here you can see me putting in the line for the hopper input, and oh look, it's another slime. How wonderful. And though that's the main storage, this is going to be the storage silo for all of the things that you end up with way too much of, things like cobblestone and tuff. I hooked it up to some redstone lamps so I could see both the items flowing in and it would indicate how full the reserves were. I ended up changing the timings on these repeaters because I didn't want them flashing because of the lag. I just wanted them to give a solid signal output. The first one took me a while to figure out, but in no time I was absolutely flying and flew through them pretty damn quickly. This is what it looked like. I needed wood and I'd developed a vitamin D deficiency, so I went outside and just stood in the sunshine for a moment. But there's no rest for the wicked, and I had a bulk storage system to auto sort, and that's exactly what I did. I built an ice pathway to lead up to the bulk storage sorter, and then I filled that up with the water that I needed to get the items to pop up from this chest and go to the bulk storage first and then to the main storage afterwards. I put the hopper line in place leading away from the bulk storage so that I could feed into the main storage, and then I had to go and grab some iron from Rick. And Rick was having trouble with his villagers. They weren't producing iron golems, but I kind of just left him to it. But I needed leather for item frames, so I got to breeding cows, and I was there for a while, and I managed to amass a population, and I raised them from younglings into adults. I loved them, I really did. One of the babies tried to escape, but I gave him a stern talking to and told him if he didn't go back in, he'd end up like his parents, and sure enough, he went back in. I must do something about this hole in the floor, it looks horrendous. Despite the fact that I wasn't much help to Rick when it came to his villagers, he did give me a load of sticks, so I gave him a cow head, and then we just kind of stood there and mooed for a while wearing the cow heads, because actually I don't know why we did that. It was a bit strange.
Bye, have a beautiful time.
And I spent the last day, day 125, just hooking up the bulk storage sorter to the bulk storage system, and this was like spaghetti junction. I really had to try not to let them cross, and I think I was successful because items started flowing into the right place, all the lights started lighting up, but I had to do this for 9 separate items, and making this work without allowing one hopper line to cross into another line was damn near impossible in such a tight space, but I did it and it worked. And here's a quick overview cinematic of what that looks like when it's filling up. Oh look, there's a slime. And just like that, 25 in-game days had passed and I had built an entire storage system. This was no way going to be big enough for everything that I was going to need, but it was a good start for now. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and if you're new here and you've recently subscribed, which a number of you have, thank you ever so much. I really appreciate your support. I'm really enjoying this series. I feel like we're making some good progress, but if you've got any suggestions or comments, go down into the comments section, let me know. I reply to pretty much every single comment. If you have a look at previous videos, you'll see that that's the case. In the next episode, we're going to go through the very long, drawn-out process of draining the external water around the ocean monuments so that we can get some farms put in there. It means collecting a whole lot of sand, a whole lot of gravel, and just doing very, very repetitive tasks over and over again. But I'll do my very best to edit it in a way that makes it at least marginally interesting. But if you do want something interesting, go and check out Rick Hunter 1990. Check out his channel because he's working on something. I'm not going to give too much away, but honestly, he sent it to me last night. It's just absolutely amazing. And if you enjoyed this episode, please go ahead and leave a like. It really helps to show what's working on this channel and what's not. And if you really loved it, subscribe and catch the next episode, which is coming out very, very soon. But that's it from me. For now, I'm out. See ya.